There's no need to give up, homie. Though I understand if lately you felt a bit more nihilistic or lifeless, let me share something that you may already know. If you've been paying attention to the world and to the news outlets in the last 4 years to be exact, they've probably lost all credibility in your eyes because blunder after blunder after blunder, it's hard to remain trustful of sources that are not giving out truth. And personally, I would doubt them too after everything that's happened. Just to give out some examples, I mean, the masks, that was a whole load of bullcrap. I mean, putting it on is when you're sick, but they made everybody put it on. The vaccines with all the side effects they're discovering now about, oh, well, you may not be able to do this anymore, you may not be able to what? You may feel this after a few years. Oh, well, we did develop it kind of quickly. Oh, this didn't happen before the vaccine. Oh, everybody that has the vaccine has these things in common. You can see the mortality rates of a certain age group that were exposed to more vaccines. I'm not gonna say more, but this stuff that you look and you're like, well, something's a bit strange here. And then the whole movement about being more inclusive, which is fine, you know, being inclusive and acceptant of things that don't harm us, that things are actually people that suffer or whatever, but not promoted in being inclusive and being promotive of something very different. When we start putting certain things in the institution of normal learning, aka schools, and we feed this information in a way that's like, oh, it's okay, you know, no, man, no. Do I need to go on? I mean, the feminism promotion in body positivity and all these people becoming obese and pretending that it's fine. And then the shaming of masculinity making men feel like they shouldn't be men anymore. And then there's also like a complaint about men not being men. But we shame men for being men. It's like, it's so bad. We look at it, if you look at it with a discerning eye, you're like, this ain't right. But this is just the tip of the iceberg of the secret epidemic of nihilism in our generation of young people who are getting more and more depressed, more and more suicidal. There's a lot more identity crisis and problems and confusion than ever before. We are so depressed. So depressed. No one wants to be better. Everybody's just mediocre. Giving into vices, smoking, vaping, drinking, one night stands, sleeping around, but then also the majority not having the ability to get with a girl. And now we're in this situation where we can't even trust what we've always seen, and we don't have the ability to look inward. So what can we do? We can't trust the government, we can't trust the news. Who is guiding us? Politics is full of lies. Local authorities are corrupt, and the police is not reliable. It feels like it's every man to themselves, but we're still constrained to conform to the group, deprived of our freedom to be monotonous, to have an opinion, to act according to how we really feel inside. How many times have you deprived the world of the essence in your heart because you thought you wouldn't be well receptive? How many times have you held back? We are told how we should be, and we are told that how we really actually want to be is wrong, it's toxic. And I'm not saying that it isn't, but a man that lives a strong life is a man that didn't suppress himself. It is actually the man that suppressed themselves, that suppressed their passion and negate the essence of what makes them them, that may commit all of these crimes that people will label as toxic masculinity, which is how they angle all of this debate. But in reality, they are making us worse than how a man would be. It is just sophism that you're going to learn to point out by yourself. Forget about the petty and illegal crimes. A crime committed against another person is more likely to happen from a man that suppresses himself, that makes himself little, that makes himself unstable, and deprives himself and the world of what he really is capable of. Not a man that lives in a manly and open manner. Make mistakes and learn from them. Even if without intending you might end up accidentally hurting somebody else, learn from it. We all make mistakes. Be ready to hurt yourself as you live with an open heart and love the world with wide arms. And of course, you're going to feel terrible. You see that there's nobody else around that actually wants to commit to this nature, to commit to this essence on this masculine path. It feels lonely. It makes you want to stay in bed and stare at the ceiling. There are people vaping, drinking, smoking, doing all types of drugs. There's the hookup culture. A secular world has no place for the soul. How then can you keep your spirits up? Well, it all starts with you. You are what it starts, you are where it ends. Your change in yourself is already a change in the universe. And believe it or not, your actions, when you are brave, when you are strong, you are inspiring others, whether they show it or not. Your masculinity is more infectious than any virus in the whole world. And one last thing I wanted to speak about, just how men are being deprived of their masculinity, women are being deprived of their femininity. So it's no wonder we're all so distasteful to ourselves. No wonder we all cope. And we do. Don't lie, you're not perfect. And I sure am not either. We have so much cognitive dissonance against not just our values, but our biologically engraved instinct and function. Literally, being strong in our nature is now harder than ever because we're deprived of role models in our genders. And we are ashamed for wanting to be the way that our God-given nature always was. Can you believe that in these advanced societies, men that are being, shamed for being men and ostracized and all these things, likewise, the women that want to be stay-at-home wives, that want to be nurturing mothers, that give birth, that give life, that create life. These women are made to feel like they are being brainwashed for wanting these things. And like they're going against feminism. Bro, like, what? Being strong, either physically or mentally, having this gift, is what made a person stand out before, right? And now in the digital world, being recognized is a luxury for the person or the group which the media wants to push forward. And all of these work people are actually the easiest to control, so of course they're gonna be the ones taking over the cookies of fucking algorithm. And social media is a place where people have become way too comfortable talking all the smack that they wanted because they are behind a screen, so they are little warriors on the keyboard. When it comes to push and shove, it comes to real life and what? They never suffer any repercussions because we can't just beat people up that annoy us. So they're gonna have this feeling of power, and in some sense they do have some power, but without earning it. Of course they're gonna feel like bad men, of course they're gonna be arrogant. They're weak men that never had to work, never lifted a dumbbell in their life, and they challenge shit to everyone. Just how there's so many girls that think that they're the queens of the center of the universe because there's 1 million, no, it's 10 million nobodies giving them attention. Oh baby, you look so good. Oh baby, you're so sexy. Oh my god, let me clap, whatever. And they are like, they're bad and bougie, like there's something going on in their life. They have all these dumbass emojis. Bro, of course the men are gonna be wrong, and of course the women are gonna be wrong. Of course we're all going to be wrong. We are letting go and forgetting the basic and crucial things in life. But is any of this worthy of giving up, to be honest? Yeah, it's hard doing the right thing. But you still want to do it, don't you? Will you bear the pain of regrets? Or the pain of battle? I think we both know. And you're not alone, and I'm rooting for you. Strive to be 1% better every day. And much love.